Good day everyone, I am Roswell Gil S. Grosper from this section BPED 2A, and I will be discussing to you the basic skills in volleyball. First is the service. The volleyball serve skills is used by a player to launch the ball over the net to start a rally. The serve puts the ball in place once the referee blows the first whistle. So the importance of service ay para mahirapan yung kalaban na bumuo ng isang play or to destroy the opponent's offense. And we have two types of serving. First is the underhand serve. This serve is used mainly in recreational volleyball, and it is not require the level of skill or coordination that the other types of serves do. This serve is usually taught for the beginners because it is the basic ones. Kasi hindi required ng mataas na level of skills or hindi kailangan na magaling ka. Kaya nga, it is the basic of all the serve. And this is the sample video and how to execute it.
With one foot step back, you hold the ball in your opposite hand, then your other hand fisted, shift your weight forward and hit the ball below the center of the ball.
Second is overhand serve. Overhand serve are the most common and the two main overhand or overhead. Serves are the topspin and the float. Ito yung kadalasang nakikita natin sa mga varsity players and professional players since serving is one of the most powerful offense. And overhand serve also have its type. First is topspin serve. This serve has much more predictable movement than a floater, but it can be difficult to handle because of its quick speed and difficult to pass because it drops rapidly. A topspin serve thus requires exactly that spins rapidly forward from the top, and this serve is one of the powerful impact para siya sa opponents natin. And topspin is also used by the pro players. And this is the sample video and how to execute it.
Toss the ball a little higher, step under the toss and strike the ball underneath toward the top of the back in a down and outward motion.
Second is the floater serve. A floater serve or a floater is a serve that does not require spin. It is called a floater because it moves in unpredictable ways, making it difficult to pass. A float serve catches the air and can move unexpectedly to the right or to the left, or it can drop suddenly. Yung serve na to ay hindi madaling malaman kung saan siya bababa. Sabi nga ng ibang player, minsan bumababa agad, minsan di mo alam kung pupunta ba siya sa gilid or flat ball yung formation ng bola. This is the sample video and how to execute it.
To hit a floater, make a contact in front of your body with your hand hitting behind the middle of the ball. The arms follow through but only part ways. By hitting directly behind the ball, you ensure there's no spin.
For the last type of serve or overhand serve is the jump serve. The jump serve is more advanced and utilizes an even higher toss that should be several feet in front of the server. Most jump serves have top spin on them, but it is possible to jump serve a floater. Ito yung mga madalas natin na nakikita sa mga napapanood natin sa TV na ginagamit nga ng mga professional players. And this is the sample video and how to execute it.
Toss the ball high and several feet in front of you, Then jump up and forward, making sure to take off behind the end line, then hit the ball.
Next for the basic skills is the spiking. Spiking is the offensive play where a player slams the ball sharply downwards over the net and into the opposing court, making it difficult for the opposing team to recover the ball. It is usually the last hit in volleyball from receiving to set and then spike. We also have its type. First is the hard-driven spike. A lot of volleyball attackers choose to carry out the so-called hard-driven spike. The attackers need to hit ball forcefully and should aim to land it on the opponent's side of the court. Ito yung kadalasan na ginagawa ng mga ginagamit ng mga players kapag wala silang blockers kasi malaki yung chance nila na magkapuntos. This is the sample video and how to execute it.
Step with your right foot to build the speed. At the same time, swing your arms back behind you to prepare you for the strike. Then hit the ball.
Second is off-speed spike. The off-speed spike is also known as roll shot in volleyball. When carrying out this type of an attack hit, a volleyball player should aim to land the ball in the open area of the court. That's the reason why volleyball player also called it as off-speed spike, as a controlled spike. Ang off-speed spike is also a smart play. Ginagawa ito kapag walang gaanong maganda yung set sa spiker. And this is the sample video and how to execute it.
Same as the approach of the hard spike, the off speed is hit or spike with less force.
Last for its type is standing spike. The attacker doesn't have the jump to carry out an hit or an attack. For this reason, such an attack hit is called as the standing spike. The standing spike is also known as the down ball. Ginagawa ito para maitawid sa kabilang side of the court kahit sinabi ng free ball para lang mahirapan yung mga player or receiver to get the ball. This is the sample video and how to execute it.
At this kind of spike, sometimes it doesn't need an approach. It only needs a hit without a jump.
Next for the basic skills is the blocking. Blocking is a skill in a volleyball used to prevent the opponent from a successful attack hit. A block technique is used to deflect the ball coming from an attacker. It is the number one of defensive play on the top of the net to stop the different types of spike, especially the hard spike. There are also types of it. First is the single block. The block occurs when one hitter from the team on offense has to hit a ball against one blocker on defense from an opposing team. Ang single block is usually ginagamit sa quick plays ng mga kalaban and also for the setter na mag-drop ball shot. And this is the sample video and how to execute it. Second is double block. A double block is another name for this type of situation when two players are blocking in volleyball against one hitter. This is the sample video and how to execute it. Last, for the types of blocking is triple block. A triple block is when three players jump up together at the net to block. A team putting up a triple block at the net is often difficult to do successfully. This kind of block is the most difficult block to achieve of to do. Kasi may possibility na magkaroon ng mga spaces sa harap na pwedeng pag-drop ballan ng mga kalaban. And this is the sample video and how to execute it. Last, for the basic skills is the setting. Setting is the second step of passing, and it can be done to either dump the ball over into undefended spot or to set the ball into a position that allows the hitter to spike it over. Ang setter, meron siyang two options. It is either a drop ball to find a available spot or to set it to the spiker. And this is the sample video. And that's it for my part. Let us have the next reporter for the continuation.
Good day guys, and for the continuation of our discussion, we have the different type of passing. First, we have the underhand pass. This is the receiving with the forearms involved hitting the ball in the controlled manner to your teammates. Ito yung ginagamit ng mga volleyball player kapag sila ay sumasalo ng bola. They use their forearm to receive the ball. Kung mapapansin natin dito sa video na kapag dumating yung bola, talagang yung legs, tas yung forearms ay naka-ready. Talagang nandun yung force upang makontrol ang bola upang may pasa ito para magkaroon ng magandang set. Next naman, meron tayong overhand pass. The overhand pass held forehead with elbows. This passing player for underneath, the ball will control with the fingertips. Kung mapapansin natin, ito yung ginagamit ng mga volleyball player or mga player kapag talagang alanganin or mataas yung bato ng bola sa kanila. Kung mapapansin natin dito sa video, talagang yung kamay ay dapat naka-ready. Ito yung pag-angat ng dalawang kamay sa kanya. Tas kung mapapansin natin, ginagamit ng mga player or mga nagsiset sa atin kapag tayo ay naglalaro ay ganito yung ginagamit nila, sinasabi nila tres, ganyan. So mapapansin natin na ito yung ginagamit upang may pasa or para magkaroon ng magandang set. Meron nga silang minsan code dito, dos, ganyan. So kapag napansin natin na ito yung ginagamit nila upang magkaroon ng magandang control dun sa bola sa sobrang taas ng bigay or sobrang taas naman ng pagsiserve. Ito yung ginagamit nila upang manatili yung bola, upang magkaroon ng control dun sa bola.
Thank you. And once again, I'm Paulina Engolina, and for the continuation of our presentation, I'm going to discuss about the basic volleyball rules for playing the game. So first, 6 players on a team, 3 on the front row and 3 on the back row. So bawat isang team dapat mayroong 6 na players sa kanya-kanyang court na kailangang may 3 tao sa unang row at 3 rin sa likod na row. Hinati ito para ma-identify kung anong position mo and para rin maayos or organize ang rotation. So next, maximum of 3 hits per side. So sa volleyball, may tinatawag tayong 3-hit rule na kung saan kapag nag-start na yung rally, may limit lang na 3 hits sa bawat team kapag pumunta na sa inyo yung bola after the serve. So next, player may not hit the ball twice in succession. A block is not considered a hit. So once na na-hit mo yung bola, yung unang bola, bawal mo nang tirahin yung pangalawa. Kumbaga, bawal ang 2-touch sa paglalaro nito. Pero pwede mo siyang tirahin ulit kapag na-hit na siya or na-receive na siya ng iba mo pang kasama. Tapos ang block ay hindi kino-considered na hit or hindi siya counted. So, after the block, ang unang makakahit ng bola, yun pa lang, doon pa lang magi-start yung counting or yung first hit. Next, ball may be played off the net during a volley and on a serve. At sa service naman, need na lalabas ka ng inyong court, bawal kang tumapak sa loob ng court or maski sa linya nito. Then, dun mo siya i-release yung bola, tsaka mo siya isa-serve. Kapag nag-serve ka, tapos step in ka, magiging score ito ng kabilang team. Next, a ball hitting a boundary line is in. At kapag naman na-hit mo yung bola at tumama ito sa linya ng court ng kalaban, ito ay counted as in or pasok. A ball is out if it hits an antenna, the floor completely outside the court, any of the net or cables outside the antenna, the referee stand or pole, the ceiling above an unplayable area. So, sinasabi dito na out na ang bola kapag tumama na ito sa antena or kapag tumama na yung bola sa labas ng court ng kalaban. Or kapag tumama man ito sa lagpas ng antena or sa parting dulo na ng pinagkakabitan ng net or tinatawag na post. Out din kapag yung ball ay tumama na sa pole or kung saan yung referee stand. At out din kapag napunta na yung bola sa ceiling or yung masyado ng mataas na hit ng bola. For the continuation of the basic volleyball rules, here is Ma'am Alexi Nicole Agtuca.
Thank you, Ma'am Molina. So, good day to each and everyone. Before I proceed to the continuation of basic volleyball rules for playing the game, let me introduce myself to you. I am Alexi Nicole S. Agtuca from BPED 2A. So, let's start. Yes, it is legal to make contact with the ball with any part of the body as long as the ball immediately rebounds. It may not lay against the body or be kicked forcefully. A play on the ball occurs when a play touches the ball or the ball touches a player. So in regular volleyball, you cannot catch, hold, or throw the ball. You can't hit scoop shots with open palms beneath the ball to avoid the ball being held for a split second. You can't even throw the ball. Double hits are an example of special situation. Double hits are legal only on a team's first contact, such as digging out a service, but illegal on subsequent hits. If two players on the same team make simultaneous contact with the ball, it counts as one contact, and any player may play the ball. The ball may be played twice during a volley, but not twice in a row unless played directly off a block. A player is not permitted to block or attack a serve from on or inside the 10-foot line. Following the service, frontline players may change positions at the net. The 10-foot line is a line that runs the width of the court 10 feet from the net and designates the boundary for back row players jumping to attack, as well as the boundary for liberos setting overhead to an attacker. You can only change positions after the server has made contact with the ball. So if you leave your spot too soon, your team will be called out of the rotation and the opposing team will automatically win a point. So that is the end of my discussion. So for the next reporter, may I call on Miss Alyssa de los Santos. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Alyssa M. de los Santos. I'm going to discuss about the rules of volleyball. The rally. In traditional games of 6 players versus 6 players, a rally begins when one of the teams sends the ball over the net with a server from their end line into the opponent's court and the opponent subsequently sends it back over the net on the first, second, or third contact. Ang traditional na game ay may 6 players bawat team or 6 versus 6 players. Pag nagsimula na ang rally, ang isang team ay magsisend ng ball over the net na may server from their end line papunta sa court ng kalaban. So, ang gagawin naman ng kabilang components is ibabalik ulit. So, balikan lang ang mangyayari over the net sa una, pangalawa, at pangatlong contact. A rally begins with the head, referee, whistle blow, and third contact are allowed to its sides. Ang rally ay magsisimula sa isang head, referee, whistle blow, at ang pangatlong contact ang pinapayagan sa bawat contact. Players cannot switch from front court to back court. Ang bawat players ay hindi pwedeng lumipat mula sa harap ng court patungo sa likod ng court. During a rally, a front row player can switch position with a front row player on her team only from the head referee has blown the whistle to start the rally. Sa panahon ng rally, ang isang front row player ay maaaring lumipat ng posisyon sa isang front row player sa kanyang team. Pagkatapos, mag-whistle ng head referee para simulan ang rally. Once the ball hit the floor, the rally ends. Pag ang bola ay tumama sa floor, ang laro o ang rally ay tapos na. The two teams competing in the rally are composed of 6 players each, both facing each other from opposing sides of a net. Ang dalawang team ay nakikipagkompetensya sa rally ay binubuo ng 6 na players, parehong magkaharap mula sa opposing sides ng net.
So, I'm the next reporter. My name is Mariper Sabat, and I will continue the rally. A team is allowed to contact the ball a total of 3 times in their attempt to return the ball to the opponent's court during the rally. A team that wins the rally will receive a point. They earn the right to serve, and they are required to rotate the one position. So, when can a team score a point? So, ito yung mga paraan kung paano makakuha ng score point ang isang team. So, number 1, the ball they attack hits the floor inside the court of the opposing team B during rally. So, number 2, the ball of the opposing team B traveled outside of the destination boundary without any of team A player contacting it. So, number 3, team B failed to return to team A court in 3 contact attempt. And number 4 is if any member of team B commit a faults. So these are some types of how can you get a point in volleyball. So next, the following action are described as a volleyball faults. So we have if the ball land outside of the court or in the same court as the team that touched it last. So, meron pa tayo ditong if the ball touched the antennas. So, what is antennas? Antennas is a vertical rod that is located on the top of each end of volleyball net. So, for the last of my report, if the ball pass outside the antennas even if land in the opponent's court. So this is for all my report. Itutuloy po siya ng next reporter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Marifer Sabat. So the following actions are described as volleyball faults. If the ball is contacted more than 3 times before being sent to the other team's courts before the same player touch the ball 2 times in a row. So, tinatawag din na fault kapag natouch na yung bola ng higit sa 3 beses dahil natira ng same player ng 2 beses yung bola. Tapos, hindi ito naipasa sa kabilang court. So, fault yun. If a player holds, lifts, or carries the ball resulting in the ball remaining in contact with the player's body for too long or resulting in the ball coming to a complete stop. So kapag daw yung bola ay matagal na sa player, ito ay maaari ng hawak or tinaas o daladala na niya yung mismong bola, kaya ito complete stop na, kaya ito ay tinatawag ng fault. If a player touches the net with any part of the body or clothing except her hair while making a play on the ball. So fault yon kapag yung net ay natouch ng kahit anong parte ng katawan ng player. habang naglalaro, pero pag yung buhok niya tumama, hindi yun violation. If the players on the team receiving serve don't touch the ball before it lands in their half of the floor. Fault din kung ang bola ay lumapag na at hindi nahawakan ng sinumang player sa kalaban bago ito tumama sa floor. Pagkatapos ay isang side out ang itatawag. If a back row player tries to block an opposing team's attack by reaching above the top of the net. So, yung mga player sa likod, bawal silang mag-attempt ng block. Dahil yung pagbablock ay responsibilidad yun ng malapit sa net o ng tatlong player sa harap. If a libero, designated back row players jump and attacks the ball while the ball is up above the top of the net. So kapag daw yung bola ay nasa itaas ng net sa oras ng rally, ang manlalaro o ang libero or yung receiver ay hindi maaring tumalon at tirahin ang bola mula sa kahit saan sa court. So, ano nga ba ang fault? A fault is an error committed during a playing action. It's an action not permitted in competition as described by volleyball games rules. Ang fault ay tinatawag na error na nagagawa habang kasalukuyan ng paglalaro. Ito ay isang aksyon na hindi pinahihintulutan sa kahit na anumang kompetisyon tulad ng inilalarawan sa mga rules sa laro ng volleyball. When a teams commit a fault, the opposing teams get the point and right to serve the next ball. So kapag yung team nyo ay tinawagan ng fault o ang isang player, mapupunta ang score sa kalaban at ang kalaban ang may karapatan sa bola o sila yung mag-serve. So, tawagin naman natin si Miss Cherry Ann Pagtakunan para ipagpatuloy ang topic na ito.
Thank you, Sir Ian, and here is a continuation of our discussion. The following action are described as volleyball faults. So the first described as volleyball faults, if the ball lands outside of the court or in the same court as the team that touched it last. So ibig sabihin lang nito kapag nag-serve ka or yung kalaban mo is nag-serve sa'yo at nag-outside yung bola, ito ay tinatawag na faults and considered na as a score ninyo or score ng kalaban ninyo. So the second is the ball touches the antennas. Ibig sabihin nito kapag nahawakan mo or nagalaw mo yung antena, ito ay tinatawag na fault na. And if the ball passes outside the antennas, even if it lands in the opponent's court. So gaya lang nito, halimbawa kapag yung outside spiker ay papalo na at sumalat ito sa antena, ito ay considered na outside na dahil tatawag ang referee dahil ito ay illegal at hindi pwede. Next, if the ball is contacted more than 3 times before being sent to other team's court because the same player touched the ball 2 times in a row. So, if the ball is hit 3 times, considered as a good play. And kapag naman ang bola ay sumobra sa 3, matatawag ka na ng referee or i-consider niya na as a fault yon. So, if a player holds, lifts, or carries the ball resulting in a ball remaining in contact with the player's body for too long or resulting in the ball coming to a complete stop. So, when the player contacts the ball illegally, the up and down referee will call for a violation and that player's team will lose at that point. So, another form of a ball handling error is called a leaf. This is when a player elongated contact with the ball and essentially leaps it instead of hitting it upward. Next is if a player touches the net with any part of the body or clothing except her hair while making a play on the ball. So players may not touch the net. For example, sumalat yung damit mo sa net and nakita ng referee yun, matatawagan ka ng referee dahil illegal yon during that game. And next is if the players on the team receiving serve don't touch the ball before it lands in their half of the court. Ibig sabihin nito, sa pagre-receive pa lang ng bola, dapat handa ka na. lalo na sa umpisa kapag nag-serve yung kalaban mo, dapat ma-receive mo yon ng maayos dahil pag hindi mo na-receive yung bola ng maayos, i-consider na nito na score ng kalaban mo. Next, if a back row player tries to block an opposing team's attack by reaching above the top of the net. So it means in a back row attack, the back row player jumps behind the white line and also known as the 10-foot line or the 3-meter line and contacts the ball. And if the player attacks from in front of the 3-meter line, it is called as a penalty. And lastly, for the describe of volleyball faults, if a libero, a designated back row player, jumps and attacks the ball while the ball is above the top of the net. So it means the libero is restricted to performing as a back row player and it is not allowed to complete an attack hit from anywhere, including the playing court and the free zone, if at the moment of contact the ball is entirely above the top of the net, and the libero may not block and may not attempt to block. And that's all our discussion for today. Once again, we are the Group 3. Have a nice day and thank you.